Good morning, my garden friends. It is December, right? It's January 29th. I'm here in Windermere, Florida. That's Central Florida. And we are expecting a freeze this weekend. Now, this morning was supposed to get down to high 30s. And tomorrow morning they're saying 31. So we're at 43 degrees outside right now, almost 44, and it's a cozy. This thermometer is just slightly off. It's 68 inside, so it's showing 67, and the outside, the 43.9. My outside thermometer is actually against the house here and on the back porch, and so it's really tucked in and cozy. So it might be down to 41 or 42 for out in the backyard. But anyway, that all that said, I wanted to check back. It's been a couple weeks, and this is my 100 babies that I showed you. I started this on December 14th. Excuse me. And so we're going to flip the lid. I did open it just to put my thermometer in there. And like I said, it's about 67, 68 in the house. So you can see that their soil temperature is holding at right about the same. And so I'm going to take that out. I think I told you this before. I got this thermometer through Botanical Interest. Is a company that they also have a magazine that they put out monthly, and it comes in this little sleeve, and you just fit it right in there, and it actually has a little clamp on it that you could attach it to your shoulder or to your shirt, or if you wanted to put it on your tablet, if you were carrying your little booklet around to mark things down. Anyway, just to give a little cozy look inside, I had coffee filters on here before, and I switched it out because they were kind of falling apart, and put this just a piece of cardboard to kind of absorb some of the liquids. We'll just kind of move that to the side, and you can see there's still quite a bit of eggshell in here. I am very generous with the eggshells. I started this mid-December, so it's been a month and a half, and there was an awful lot of bedding, and I'm trying to switch from using colored bedding to just strictly brown paper or brown cardboard boxes. And you see anybody? Oh, good morning. Good morning, little fella. Anyway, I want to start using more of the brown only and see that if it will disintegrate and be used, if the worms will assimilate it faster than there's another one. Like I said, there were only about 2 adults in here. Oh, now I'm seeing somebody. Now I'm getting down to it. Now we're down to the nitty-gritty. Those worms are looking more mature, aren't they? Not seeing, so far, not seeing any wisp. Oh wait, there's something. And you know, I've told you before, I really like using a small plastic fork, because you can get in there so much finer. One of my hobbies in my past life, when I was a lot younger, was dollhouses, and also I used to design and paint needlepoint canvases when I lived in Hawaii, and lots of worms. And so you learn to work with really tiny things, but the doll houses, you learn to work with little tweezers, little forceps, and get in there and do delicate work. And because of that, I always try to think of going at things in a very, very delicate way when I'm working with, especially with creatures so tiny as the worms. You can see they're kind of distributed through here. I'm not finding a worm ball yet. Well, there's another little one. There I'm starting to see more little guys. You know, the ones that are not quite mature yet. He looks light, but he doesn't look like a... He's got some color on him. I suppose at some point I should actually sit down and take it apart. Hello. And see just how many worms it's grown to be. But anyway, the idea of the fork was just so that it didn't rip anyone apart. You really do have to be careful. In the beginning, sounds like when I'm going to tell a biblical story here, but in the beginning, back in 2009, I think, and in the first few years, really, I would start to clean out my worm bin, and I was, I think, a little too, just a little too aggressive. Rick helped me a few times, and he kept saying, "What is this? What's all this stringy stuff?" Well, it was the worms, and we were kind of pulling them apart because they are, even though they're segmented and what have you, they're kind of almost have like a gelatinous quality to them. There's some. Oh, this was the side, right? This is the right side. You guys were going to remind me that this was my feeding side. So this is why I'm maybe seeing more worms over here. This feels just a little, I don't know, maybe a little drier than I'm used to keeping them. But then this isn't a can of worms, so this is like an all-in-one. I keep saying this would be a great project for kids, but I was thinking it would also, there's a few grouped together. And is that a strawberry top? I don't see any strawberry tops, so they are becoming old enough and active enough to want to really get in there and eat something. Let me see if I can get down to the bottom there. There you're seeing more. And what started out is 2 worms and a bunch of wisps, and very immature. It's turning into some much larger. Oh, look at that. That's nice. That means I'm doing this right. Or at least my mistakes aren't killing them. But I think those look pretty good. And they look healthy. Those are some nice looking worms. Come here, honey. Look at that. Look at that swelling. His little cotella. Look at me. I'm ready for action. Action Jackson. All right. So we've... These poor guys. There's a few of them. Huddled together. I don't know if that's for warmth or if it's a date night All right, so we've pretty much combed this. I haven't gotten down to the bottom, but I don't go the whole way to the bottom on this. And it looks like, I don't know. See, I'm still seeing this. See all the colored paper. And they break it down in my big worm bin. So I'm assuming they're going to do it in here also. But this seems very healthy. I'm not getting any smells. I know that they seem to be okay. And so this time let's go to the left. And I'm also not seeing any clumps. Remember I mentioned to you before that when I was doing the cornmeal, I was finding like clumps of it. And so I think, excuse me, I don't think I'm going to put any real bedding down here because I'm still, yeah, I was thinking it was kind of dry, but for this type of bin, I think it's plenty moisture. And you can see I still have cocoons. Whether they are ever going to hatch or not, I don't know. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and give them our famous little Rembrandt on the strawberry tops. And I think today we're even going to put in a little banana peel. Funny, isn't it? Whenever you have, we have a banana 6 days a week. On Sundays we have a different breakfast, and so we don't have a banana. But boy, you freeze these and they're rock hard, but as soon as they start to melt, they get really kind of oozy. So I imagine it's easier for the worms to break that down. And a little bit of coffee grounds. The coffee grounds not only add something for them to eat, but it actually also adds a grit. But in spite of that, we're going to add just a little bit of cornmeal to it. Just a little. Like a little protein powder for them. A little protein shake. And a little bit more. And then we're going to cover them back over. So that's been 2 weeks. I haven't really disturbed them. I've let them go, honest. I didn't even peek in there. And but I did add this extra piece of cardboard, which, by the way, was dry when I put it in. I was getting a little, I just felt like it was getting a little bit soupy. And so I just added this to kind of dry it off and see if it would pull some moisture out. And it seems to. But as you can see, I'm really getting, dangerously high here on having too much in here, and I need to move them to a higher spot. So anyway, that's it on today's feeding. Everything looked really good, and 6 weeks later, I think I've got some pretty close to adult worms in there. So keep that in mind if you're starting a worm bin. That 6 weeks, 2 months, something like that, you're going to have some adult worms that are repopulating. Anyway, garden what you've got. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope everyone here in Central Florida and North Florida especially, you guys get even colder than we do, and we're never used to it, except for this once or twice a year. I hope we all survive, and be assured, though, that my worms are staying inside and they're nice and cozy. So come back and visit me again. I hope you'll subscribe and ring the bell. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.